A warning. The following content may not be suitable for all viewers, and is intended for mature audiences, as this will include acts of violence, arson, robbery, armed robbery, vagrancy, theft, and horse theft, buggery, or known better as sodomy, animal abuse, gratuitous murder, arson, racism and sexism, drunkenness, vulgarity, and multiple counts of decapitation. Thus, the video is rated R. Viewer discretion is advised. This is a tale, not of redemptions, but vengeance.
I wasn't always like this.
It begins with a good.
Hey there! My horse! Well, you can see. Is there any way you can give me a ride? See or no?
I was always game to be a helping hand to those in need.
Come on, please.
So,
I appreciate it. There's an old lookout tower on the mountain northeast of Emerald Ranch. That's where I was headed. Por fin. Muchas gracias. Take this, okay?
it wasn't much, but enough to keep me going. I've been away for about 3 days. Since the lady was kind enough to give me some money for helping her, I was able to start heading back sooner. I make an honest living out of what I do. Just to be sure. I only hunt a few, here and there. Only what's needed though. As I headed back towards the hideout, I started to think about family, and what it all means to me. Having 3 other siblings, I take it upon myself to remain earnest. But, with my siblings, well, I couldn't think about it for too long. Speaking of the devil, or should I say thinking.
So you're done for.
That was my youngest sibling.
You gonna find me?
The blue-eyed devil, some would say.
Are you out your damn mind?
I can recall on several times I asked him that too. Always creating a ruckus. No matter the time of day.
The last thing you'll see is my bullet.
Never backed away from a gunfight either. Don't matter who was watching.
Go to hell!
The blue-eyed devil. Someone with no direction. No destination. No true aspirations.
Plus, my train. Now you gotta clear out of here.
Just ugly intentions.
Get out of here now, or you be sorry.
Not someone I'd like to cross paths with. No. Certain it wouldn't be pretty. It definitely wasn't pretty for that old lady either. When we were orphans, Blue really had a temper back then. Maybe it was never anger to begin with. Or maybe I am getting ahead of myself.
As we look back, the good remembers about times with the second youngest.
You see, my other sibling, well, let's just say, didn't fall too far from the tree. I believe that anybody who spends too much time with Blue will end up changing. Now, don't get me wrong, they do have their differences. This one has always had ambition. I even showed him the ropes. Hell, could have been a natural too. Weren't it for that ambition? Seeing how my family tree is set up, I could tell that this wasn't gonna be enough. It was only a matter of time before more lucrative outcomes were explored. The major difference between them was the encounters. Everything used to be so passive with Twin. But now, everything's changing. And everyone wants their share of the pie. Twin's been getting employment from Aunt Maggie. I see the ulterior motive. It's just a plot to get what she has.
You're supplying. And you gonna pay them a friendly or a not-so-friendly visit? Just make sure they get the message.
Never involve yourself with inhumane people. Never abandon those who will do the same for you. That's what I go by. But it's starting to bring conflicting matters. Please don't get me wrong. This is my twin. I've gotten my hands dirty a time or two with him. All behind that ambition. It's nothing that I am proud of. But I know Twin would do the same for me. Ready to ride out for Maggie's request, I realized Twin had a way of things, which was similar to Blue. But Blue has a set way of handling things. I even helped strong-arm a few saloons with him. All this work for Aunt Maggie, as Twin itching for an opportunity. We were sent to go pick up Maggie's nephew. One thing is certain. This will be the last time we work for Maggie. Because it was near time to make Twin's dream a reality. Once we freed him, he told us of a run-down saloon near Ansburg. Says that the place is basically ripe for the picking. Normally, we wouldn't take someone's word except for our own. Especially from someone locked in a cage.
You're late.
I didn't know if you were...
I know. But
After
we're here
discussing it, they agreed this was the best chance to get started. Hell, I agree. We are gonna need a place to set up shop. As Twin and I headed to the location, I couldn't help but realize that Blue still isn't here yet. But think about the devil too long and, well, you know what's funny? Blue tried to sell me a story. Says that it was something personal that needed taken care of. I know exactly what it was. Always up to no good.
This would mark the first of many unexpected turns.
As soon as we walked in, I could tell the place still had ownership.
Christ, ain't that an old face?
Judging from the bartender, we weren't going to be able to ask for the place nicely. I know the owner is around somewhere. Maybe even inside right now. This was supposed to be a scope. And this is why we don't take another's word for something. It was almost as if you could feel the intensity. Seems like I won't be able to avoid violence. Not with these two at least. I don't like to fight, but I will defend myself. I have always been my siblings' keeper. And I will continue to do so. Twin can take care of Twin. And there goes Blue. I actually think we might be able to pull this off. It's not every day you decide to strong-arm someone for their business. So naturally, I was worried. Which, I had every right to. This is definitely gonna be a problem.
Today? Come on then! I'm gonna bash your face in!
Sometimes I feel like these two would be lost without me.
How about that?
Didn't he?
I'd be lost
that
without
hit?
my siblings, I know that.
I'm gonna die today!
But it's getting harder and harder the way things have been going. It's not the first time my life was at risk. There's been times Twin has almost blown me up. Hell, it was even a time I was nearly shot in the face. But these two together, it was certain that I got the short end of the stick. I don't know who's worse, but they are both tied for most troublesome. My Twin just has ambition. As for Blue's case, I guess I'd have to go into more detail. You see, Blue, well, like I said before, it doesn't matter the time or the day. Blue is always eager to be ugly, always looking to swing that right hand on someone. And God forbid it starts raining. In my eyes, it seems like a reminder to be ugly. Blue, sometimes, I don't know what's on your mind. You think that it would be the heat that brings out people's moodiness. Only the ugly will allow themselves to let weather alter their well-being, even just for the day. Some others would probably use this as an opportunity for unnecessary means.
You're paying dead good!
What the ever-loving hell?
Safe to say I've been stabbed
We
now.
got you tied down here.
Getting your lamp blown!
Growing up with siblings, the fights, and the hassles, well, it can be beneficial after all. I'm not the one to get my hands dirty, but I know everyone isn't like that. You have some people who see the rain and just go berserk. At least, that's what I think about Blue. Till this day, I still don't know what happened to that man. But I am certain of what took place. See, Blue has this obsession with explosives. I remember when I could spend time with my siblings and not have to worry. It is 'cause we are cut from the same cloth. Makes me question the fabric.
Right. You should not be stopping here. Go on now. You got one chance to get lost.
I have seen my fair share of ugly. It can be a consequence running into Blue. I even seen him hack a man down. And they say, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. A very hard individual. And even harder to look at. But you wouldn't say that out loud. The last person that insulted Blue.
What might be the turning point for our protagonist
Did I ever tell you about that bank job?
will arrive sooner than expected.
It was time to discuss our next move. Blue got word on a teller who's known for making mistakes. So naturally, robbing a bank would be the first thing that comes up. Of course I didn't like how this was going. But I felt the desperation. And they both made a promise that no one would get hurt.
Promises soon to be broken.
Not only was I worried about how this would turn out, but how exactly these two would be able to keep their word. They don't have the best track record. And it's not like we could just ask someone for their money. So it was decided, the three of us would rob a bank.
The express company. No matter. Let me escort you to the vault.
We had to play it
Of
naturally.
course, our security protocols won't allow me to take you all in. So, if some of you wouldn't mind waiting out here, let me get this open for you. Don't look now.
Immediately, I got a sense of how naive the teller is. But he's just doing his job.
There you are.
How the rest of this plays out is on these two.
Come in. I believe the allocation request was for the regular amount. Now, I don't need to tell you what to do in here. You'll know where your box is and have your coat on hand, I'm sure. You know, funny, I thought I knew everyone at the express company. But it's a high turnover business if ever there was one. Too many bandits on the roads. Really, I shouldn't joke. Now, well then.
All that was left was to grab the money and leave.
What's happening? Oh, please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you want.
As usual,
Take...
nothing ever goes as planned with these two.